part one of my work planner setup. This year I'm going to be going with a big happy planner with the vertical layout. I was not a fan this year of the Work Plus Life layouts. I had tried the hourly last year and it just did not have enough space for me to fit everything. What I've decided to do is to remove this cover, but then use the inner pages of this planner. I'm going to be using some new sections and inserts that you haven't seen me use before and kind of changing up my planner a little bit. I bought this cover. This is a Work Plus Life cover, and I deconstructed my old planner and I took out the discs, and I'm going to add them into this cover and transfer the pages over before I start setting up the different sections. This year I'm going to use a kind of like a cover page that says 2025 here at the bottom. The sections that I'm going with this year are monthly lists, long-term lists, important dates, routines, collections, and projects. This year I have started a new job at a university, but I'm still a lab manager and a researcher right now. And I feel like the concepts that I'm going to share in this video could work for several other types of jobs, so I hope that you'll get some ideas from this. The first section is going to be monthly lists. I have a monthly list for each month of the year, and this is where I keep all of my tasks. I will show how all of this works in part 2. But as you can see, this has a place to check off the tasks once they've been completed. The next section is called long-term lists. Lists that are not monthly and that I reference throughout the year. And I have 2 new inserts that I haven't used before that I'm trying out this year. The first one I'm calling the follow-up list. And what this is for is anytime that I need to email someone, call them, talk to them in person, to follow up with them about some task that was either delegated to them or that I'm waiting on them to complete, that would be added to my follow-up list. My plan is to add this to my weekly routine to follow up with each of the people on this list on Mondays. So that's going to get added into my weekly spread, and you'll see how that works later. There will be a task written in my planner to reference this list. I'm going to print out more of these follow-up list pages later on in the year once I fill this up. The next list is also new. It's the waiting for list, which I haven't used in my work planner before. I'm finding that there are certain tasks that don't necessarily have anything to do with me following up on, and instead I'm waiting for an action to be completed. So it's a once something happens, then I will do this kind of statement. So for example, once the centrifuge is refunded, then I need to contact the equipment department. Once the second lab coats order arrives, then I need to bring the lab coats upstairs. So it's an action that is going to happen. I'm waiting for that action to happen, and once it happens, that is when I need to take action. The next list is the 2026 next year list. This is a holding place for any task that needs to be transferred into my 2026 planner, which is next year since this is my 2025 planner. So this is just where I capture those tasks or events, activities on this page so that I can reference it when I'm setting out next year's planner and I don't forget about anything, because I find out about the next year's tasks throughout the year. And then the last list that I'm adding to this section is the Someday Maybe list. These are tasks that come from the monthly list, or maybe they come up in a meeting that I'm in that my boss suggests there's something that he might want me to work on, but he's not really sure about, then I add it to the someday maybe list. So this is another place where I can capture those tasks that if I have time in the future, someday maybe, then I will work on these tasks. Otherwise, they're just gonna sit here until the following year, and I process the list and delete anything that's no longer relevant at the end of the year. I'm adding these bookmarks, and I'm just gonna use this week and this month. This week is going to be kept in the current week, and then this month I'll keep in the current month. I still have 4 more sections to set up. I have a bunch of new inserts that you haven't seen before that I'm going to be adding to these sections and setting them up. Also, I'll show you how I set up my monthly spread, the currently page, and the weekly spread, as well as a new notebook to keep my work notes in. I'm going to be adding dividers and sections to this notebook. So I hope that you'll come back next week to see all of the changes that I'm going to be making. To see more work planner videos, check out this video next, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye!